the T4 plan wasn't just you know, it was just it wasn't genocide off the bat. I'm not even going to go into what the original intention was, but based on that, the powers that were given there, it allowed them to extrapolate that out. So when you run out of when cutting all those three aren't enough, then you start stretching a little bit, right? But the objective was cutting cost, because you have to remember what happened to Germany at that point. They were having some money problems, wheelbarrows and shit. So we have to watch what that slippery slope is. You can't just trust, because the thing I find that people do a lot is that when someone says something, they don't hear what the person said. If they like the person, they imagine what the person would have said by it. You know? Not to go off topic, but I remember I was watching, I used to like that TED Talks stuff, right? And then one time I was watching it, and I see, what's his name on there? Bill Gates. And he's talking, and I remember the thing that hurt so much is because I remember so many, it was always those college kids that were always saying that shit, like, yo, TED Talks, TED Talks, TED Talks. So it seems like a lot of, intellectuals in college or whatever are the ones that are down with that stuff. You know, that's their brain exercise. They think that's their doing their little extra work or whatever. But I'm listening to this guy talk, and the audience, like now, if you go on the internet, that pitch that he has, people are all over it for what he's saying. But at the time, it wasn't. It seemed like, you know, the audience wasn't like, you didn't hear people saying crazy, like yelling at him and stuff. But everything that he said was like, was crazy. So that's so the same thing with this. It's like people always want to say, when you say damn, that's putting a lot of trust into the person that they're not gonna take advantage of that. Right? So what I'm saying is that once you decide that healthcare is not an important thing, that it's an add-on, that if you can afford it, you'll have it, then that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna keep, because my point is that if we had some crazy economy that was exponentially growing, cool, but we don't have that. So those people that are saying we're going to tie it to transfer payments can't be, it's so much in fairyland that they think that Canada is going to all of a sudden have some boom out of nowhere with no plan and action. The action plan Canada is not it. That's why I was telling you guys to read that on the other video, because that's how they're promoting it. Right? So then they can justify saying that we're going to cut transfer payments because Action Plan Canada is going to build a whole bunch of jobs. Canada's working now. But like I said, they're cutting in the billions and they're adding in the millions. So watch the slippery slope. Know that the T4 thing didn't start out as something like we're going to go and kill Jews. So I know that's flammable. People don't like hearing that kind of stuff, but it has to be said because there's so much because we've just decided that this is some evil person. So because he's evil, we'll say anything. If I say to you, oh, this guy, he molested this, he did that, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, he did. You know, even if he did it. And what I said has no foundation at all, right? So know that GDP, like you maybe have to decide. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you're saying that no, fuck it. I don't want everybody to have healthcare. Right? I don't care if, you know, our old people die off, our handicapped people die off, and are chronically ill, you know? Maybe that's your thing. So if that's your thing, then don't worry about this video. But if you actually are someone who's, you know, that claims to be someone who cares about this and cares about that, you can't be okay with that. You know? So that's some shit you gotta know. You gotta know that right now, your healthcare is going to be cut. As it stands, it's going to be cut. Unless someone stands up and says, I'm not going to cut it. So if all you guys that like Justin Trudeau, make him bring that up. Just so I'm saying that he's fraudulent. Okay? So if you're saying that he's real, bring that up to him. Say, Justin, what are you going to do about those transfer payments? My little brother's got chronic illness or whatever your personal situation is. You ask him that. And see what he says. He's not going to say anything. Because personally, from what I've seen in this conversation, he's a lot like the American president. He sounds better than a lot of guys. He has a nice kind of way of talking, but he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything. That's why he's not. That's why he doesn't have policies that he's talking about. You have to be careful of these guys that just popping out of nowhere with no, like, you know, what's the thing? All I knew about this guy before he was this is he did some charity boxing or something like that, or he was gonna do it. I don't know if he did it or didn't do it, but come on, man. Just because his dad was somebody doesn't mean he's somebody, you know. And just because you don't like Harper doesn't mean that the next guy's gonna be awesome, right? Because don't forget that's what happened in America. Bush was a terrorist. So then people are just like, anything, I'll take anything. And Obama was the opposite. He didn't have anything to offer. Anybody that honestly said that he had something to offer, that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's some other shit. Because I literally, at that point, I watched every speech, every debate he had in his first part. And I was just waiting for him to say something that meant something. All he's saying is, I know about this. I know you guys are poor. I know you guys are having trouble doing this. I know you guys are doing this. That's why I'm running. He would name what the problems were, and then he would say, that's why I'm running. But he didn't say, I'm going to do this about that, I'm going to do this about that, or anything. He doesn't have any types of, you know, solutions. So the same thing goes for Trudeau until proven different. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be putting hateful stuff because they love that guy, but tell me what you see his policies as. I'll wait for that. So you can't be that excited about someone that you don't know any policies about him, you know? So just trying to come at you guys with shit that you should know, you know? Transfer payments is not something that's in the lexicon, so let's make it in the lexicon. Okay? You know what that shit is. You know how you feel about it, about healthcare. If you think healthcare is something that's important, then you got to fight against that. You can't just be like, oh, geez, yeah, they're going to kind of hope it works out. Because you know how that turned out in the first case. Didn't turn out so well. So I think that'll do it for transfer payments. All right, it's your man Big Fo. Shit you need to know. Be good. Peace.